My name's Dudit, set up builds and stuff. Today's video is not a build, it's a video that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I've actually just got around to doing it. I thought it'd be a perfect time now, before we get all the new weapons coming out in Heresy and the Lotus-Eater. I'll also be covering that in this video, but the actual video is about these god rule guides or certain websites that a lot of people tend to just follow. They'll see a certain rule recommended and they just go for that one rule, when really that's not the case. There's other rules that are actually pretty good for certain builds as well, so I just want to go over some examples. So basically, the Call, the Strand Sidearm, this come out with the Final Shape DLC from the Pale Heart. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic weapon. It's one of these weapons where there's that many good rules, and I see a lot of people just keeping one said rule, when really you should be keeping other rules, or at least considering them. Like if you take, for example, this one, the most popular perk combo on there at the time was Lead from Gold 1 for All, Lead from Gold Vorpal. There was like the most popular rules, when really there's that many good rules on this weapon. And what a lot of people do, I see a lot of it, is they just tend to go for one rule and automatically discard other rules, when, for example, the rule I put on mine is slightly different. My rule is not even on there. Not only is my rule not even on there, I wouldn't even consider a couple of them ever in a million years anyway for the rule I wanted to put on this, because I pick perks for builds. I do not pick perks just for the sake of it. So saying that, the Call, I crafted Demolitionist on mine. We know what Demolitionist does. Final blows with this weapon, generate grenade energy, and when you throw a grenade, it reloads. This pairs absolutely insanely well with Adrenaline Junkie. This gives you a 33% damage increase every time you get a grenade kill, and it can also stack up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to ×5. But as soon as you get a grenade kill, you're getting 33% damage increase with Adrenaline Junkie, and you've got a Demolitionist kicking in the background to give you grenade energy. It is just an absolutely insane combo that it's not even on the list, it's not even on people's guides or on website, which I found absolutely nuts. Now, if you consider builds that work with grenades, like Starfire Protocol builds, these are just examples. There's loads and loads of different builds where we throw grenades for days, like Spirit of the Osmiomancy with Spirit of the Verity. So things like that. Like we've even got like Young Amakara spam builds, Titan grenade builds, loads of them, and Adrenaline Junkie Demolitionist on builds like this is just absolutely god tier in my opinion. This is why I don't really say, if I do videos, god roll guides or anything like that, or this is the god roll, it is my god roll. I always say in my videos, this is my god roll. Now, the reason why I state that is because I do not want you guys to just follow my sort of recommendations, when really you should be considering your own sort of builds and seeing what you need for your builds. Like Demolitionist Adrenaline Junkie, just one example. I've got more examples. If you're running a grenade build, you just cannot beat this rule, in my opinion. It's absolutely insane. And like I said, just having that 33% damage on a rocket sidearm that already slaps hard is just absolutely nuts. Now, the next one we'll briefly go over is the Vision of Confluence. Again, these are just examples. I'm just picking some out that I thought was quite good examples. Now, this is from the Vault of Glass, obviously. Now, again, this rule, like, pretty good. Incandescent Explosive Payload. Now, that is not a bad rule. Incandescent Firefly is not a bad rule. Heel Clip Firefly, again, not a bad rule. But, like, I'll see a lot of people, like, I recently did a video on this rule, and I had so many people saying, oh, I've just discarded this rule. If I wish I'd watched this video before. Like, the one rule that I think is absolutely insane on this weapon is Incandescent and Paracausal Affinity. It is so good and extremely underrated, because Paracausal Affinity gives you a 20% damage increase every time you get a light kill. Now that includes Arc, Solar, Void, and even the weapon. That will give you 20% damage increase on the fly, which you can proc very easily with all your abilities. And Incandescent is really strong. This applies Scorch, and it also causes the ignitions. Now, Paracausal Affinity actually buffs Incandescent as well. So all your Scorch numbers and all your ignitions will benefit from Paracausal Affinity. Now, I did a video on this not too long back, I will link it, but Paracausal Affinity is literally a walking free buff, 20%, and a lot of people say to me, well, what about Frenzy? Well, Frenzy is 15%, and you have to be in combat for a certain period of time, versus Paracausal Affinity. It is literally up all of the time. All you have to do is get any single ability kill that's light, like a light kill like Solar Void and Arc, and that is going to buff your 20% damage on your Scout Rifle infinitely, and also buff your Scorch and Incandescent. If you add something like Dawn Chorus to this, if you're going for a Scorch build, now, as well as Paracausal Affinity, buffing the Incandescent, Dawn Chorus will also buff your Scorch numbers by 200%. So, and again, this is just like one example. There is loads of different builds you could run this on. Something like Ignition Titan build or a Hunter build. Loads and loads of different options. And like I said, I did a video on this and I had so many people say to me, I've just discarded this role and this is a weapon I've run in GMs. I've run it in a couple of GMs already and it's absolutely awesome. Now, Unvoiced from the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon. Now, this is another crazy one. This is one that I could not believe, because when this first come out for the first 2 weeks, even to this day, this role with redirection is... it's not even on the list. It wasn't even on the list. But redirection gives you 100% damage increase. And then we all know what bait and switch does. Bait and switch gives you 30% damage increase. These both stack together, so you can get 130% damage increase on a shotgun, which is absolutely nuts. Redirection, it got buffed. Me and one of my clanmates on this was literally all over redirection when we realised it had been buffed. And nobody was crafting it. There was discarded in these weapons. There was just assuming redirection was a bad perk when we was on it really early on the DLC, and we was stating how good it actually is now. But redirection, it stacks up to 30, and all of your shots against mages will consume 2. So you build it up with miners, and then, like I said, getting 100% damage increase plus your bait and switch. And it's not even in the top 4 rules on this shotgun. Riddle me that. And this is why I wanted to do this video. Don't automatically follow these guides. Have a think about it. Now, another prime example is the new sword from the Nether, the Abyssal Edge. Again, this has got redirection on there. And again, like when this come out, there was so many guards and so many sort of websites were saying discard this rule, flash counter, and redirection paired together. Like, this does a magic little synergy. As we know what redirection does, I've just explained, it goes to 100% damage when you damage rank and file combatants. And then you're going to consume your stacks against mages, so you get 100% damage increase against mages. Now, flash counter, if you didn't know, I'm sure you know by now, if you block with flash counter, it will actually put your redirection stacks up, you'll see there. So you're literally getting redirection stacks for nothing. It's reflecting the bullet and counting as a redirection hit. So you've literally got a free redirection stack, and the amount of rules people was discarding with this particular rule, especially the redirection rules, when really you should really, in my opinion, like get it before discarding it automatically. Don't just like assume that rule is bad because someone said so or a website said so. Go have a little play with it, see what you can do with it, see if it'll fit into a build. Keep it. All these game devs are putting these excellent perk combos. This is one thing that I found a bit sad as well. All these game devs at Bungie, they're putting all these really good perks in just for people just to go auto-delete. Just because a website or somebody says it's a bad rule and just auto-delete it. I find it a bit of a shame when really you should just go and have a little tinker yourself and see what you can do with it. Now, we're going to move on to the weapon that's coming today, the Lotus-Eater. Now, this is a Void sidearm. We'll go over that in a minute. I'm just using Buried Bloodline because it's the most similar one at the moment we've got. But the Lotus-Eater is going to be dropping tonight from the Nightfall, or the Grandmaster if you want the Adept version. I'm going to go over some rules, and I'm going to go over exactly what I've just been talking about over this video, i.e. some other perk combinations. Now, already I've seen on various websites and on YouTube videos and stuff like that, people are automatically saying repulsor brace destabilizing rounds. I'm not saying that is a bad rule, it is a good rule, but how many destabilizing rounds weapons do you need with repulsor brace? I've got a shit ton of them. I don't know how many you've got. The one I will look for, one of the rules is shoot to loot. Now, this picks up orbs and reloads all your weapons when you shoot ammo, and it picks up orbs. Now, the interesting thing with this is destabilizing rounds. Now, if you go shoot to loot destabilizing rounds, I recently did a video on the Unsworn with detonator beam. Now, I'm wondering if the destabilizing rounds explosions will pick up the shoot to loot orbs? Will it proc the shoot to loot and pick up the ammo? Like I said, I did a video on the Unsworn. The detonator beam will actually pick up nearby orbs from the blast. So if destabilizing rounds works with shoot to loot, you're going to be able to get free ammo and free orb pickups like so. This is the Unsworn clip you'll see in this clip here. It automatically picks up them orbs. Now, if the Lotus-Eater shoot to loot destabilizing rounds does the same, that's an insane roll for me, because it automatically reloads your weapons and you've literally got orbs on tap, which you can use for various different things. And I guarantee there'll be a lot of people auto-deleting other rolls, auto-delete that roll without even checking it. Now, back to it before I start bleating on. The other one that really stands out for me, because it's quite a new perk, is Withering Gaze. Like I said, at the moment, we've got a Buried Bloodline. Withering Gaze will apply a weakening effect when you aim down sight for a certain period of time. That with Repulsor Brace is a very, very good roll. Withering Gaze will literally turn this new sidearm into the Buried Bloodline. Buried Bloodline weakens, but so will this one, so that is an exceptional roll. But the one I will be personally going for is Adrenaline Junkie. I love this perk. 33% damage on a Void Rocket sidearm is absolutely nuts. That's my god roll. High Ground could also be a very good option. This stacks up to 25% damage increase. So either one of them are going to be also very good. So the two I'd personally be going for in my choice would be Withering Gaze, just to make it act a bit like Buried Bloodline, apply that weakening effect, except you don't need Devour to do it. Or I'll be going for Adrenaline Junkie or High Ground. My preferred choice for the Lotus-Eater is definitely going to be Adrenaline Junkie, because I will run that on a Void build for some Void weakening grenades. But the Withering Gaze combo cannot be sort of ignored in this particular occasion. It's going to be super strong on the Lotus-Eater. But that's the video. I just sort of wanted to get this out. First time I've done something like this, really. Like I said, it was just sort of to, like, not really shit on people's videos or these guides. That wasn't the video. That was just more of like to say to you guys, like, don't automatically follow and discard certain rules. Just have a little sort of think about them, check your builds, because every perk combo in this game, pretty much nearly all of them for me, have some sort of play on a build, or you can use them in some sort of build. You'll see quite a lot of my videos, these perk combos that people don't mention, and they work perfectly on a lot of my builds. That's the video. I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.